This beautiful place is my studio, and it was my studio for now 15 years. And this is all super beautiful, but it stings and it bites. And it's deadly hot, deceiving, rewarding. This is the place where I discovered my ability to fly. Here I kind of opened a small factory of memories and of materials, of ideas. Every summer when it's very, very hot, I'll be going in with a different story, with a different material. First time I came here was a rediscovery. When I came with my first watermelon, asking questions, personal questions. A watermelon is very much an organ which will relate either to somehow your head, your mouth, but basically I think for me, my womb. So womb, 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 but also wound, wound, wound. They're wounded. Looking downwards, you saw me between these watermelons on the raft, and I gave the name Dead Sea to the piece, thinking of my mother looking down. And this is a name which is the Dead Sea as sea, but sea as look at me, Mom. My mother was going to have to look at me thinking, will I ever be a mother? As she said to me, you will be a mother to your sculptures. And I think she meant well, but she left me with this kind of question, it's an unsolved question. It's just not something I knew I was able to be an artist and a mother. This sea and this place stayed with me, and I kept finding reasons to do just one more small ritual, which became annual. 15 years of summers which we spend here. The water is beautiful, but it's actually saturated with salt. We have structures and we visit every few days. There's the mystery of what happens inside, and then there's the value and the future of the sculptures in installations. And I made several new installations presented for the first time in Salt Years in the book. Salt Years is a book which is about finding out how and where and why I made work of 15 years. It's a sediment of all we've gone through. Back in the 70s, the family used to go, we have the Saturday, the Sabbath, when we kind of came here and everybody drifted their own way, and I'm still looking for my mother here. Every sculpture that rises from the water has a story, a personal story. So, for instance, the ballerina dress, and I was a ballerina, a dancer for some years as a youth. And I was accepted to the Royal Ballet, and I was getting ready to leave at 16 to become a professional dancer. And it was a fight between my mother, who was encouraging and wanting me to go back to where she grew up, to London, and my father saying, she's not going. And I remember I was washing the dishes, hearing the fighting. I sort of pulled on my ligaments, and it was sort of a very strong movement, which I did, to end the conflict and this fight about the future and my future as a dancer. I kind of did it to myself and kept my family. You can see the installation at a ballerina dress which was crystallized, and a stretcher of a wounded person. One project was taking shoes They were saturated, covered, very heavy with a lot of salt crystals. Traveling with them to a frozen lake, placing them on the ice and letting the thyme and the salt burn 2 holes from morning to night, and the shoes ended up falling. Sometimes art is like prophesizes things in life. The dress of Hannah Rovina, who played the dibuk, she had a problem where love and marriage didn't come together. The result was the series of 8 photographs of how she transformed from a black, possessed woman and a difficult woman to marry into a white bride of a certain history. And this is a story I could relate to. I did find love, and I did find a partner. And the work is made in partnership with Yotam, who is a photographer. And he went down to the abyss to meet this transformation. And this is our wedding site as well. So many anecdotes, so many things. Sometimes I take and I put things and I do the whole way journey just to remember. And I remember after the work is done often. And then I'm released in a way.